Fun Facts presents the 1966 Ford Galaxie 500 7-liter. This is a classic muscle car. It was introduced, this body style, in 1965 and had a production of 3 years through 1968. They made a coupe and a convertible, and if you're excited, I'm excited. So let's get started now. What makes the 1966 Ford Galaxie the ultimate Ford classic is the immense success it enjoyed during its reign. Well, here's the story. The year 1966 in particular was the best year in the lifetime of the Ford Galaxie series. A new model called the Galaxie 500 7-liter was introduced by Ford. It was powered by a new Thunderbird V8 engine. The classic car was also employed by the police force back in the day. The Galaxie police cars were 360 horsepower versions of the 428 and referred to as the police interceptors by the general public. Here's what makes the 1966 Ford Galaxie a classic. While the Galaxie series was a massive success, the year 1966 stood out in terms of production and sales numbers. Back in 1958, Chevrolet took the automobile market by storm with its flagship passenger car, the Chevy Impala. The full-size Chevy was a rage in the late 50s. The launch proved to be a masterstroke that took all of Chevrolet's competitors by surprise. Among other top automobile brands back in the day was Ford, with a reputation of producing some impressive vehicles in the 1950s. All eyes were now on Ford. Their response to Chevrolet Impala, a full-sized car, targeted at a similar crop of buyers, labeled as the Ford Galaxie. The full-size car remained in production from 1959 to 1974. The name was marketing gig inspired by the 20th century space race between Cold War rivals, the USSR and the US. While the Galaxie series was a massive success, the year 1966 stood out in terms of production and sales numbers. The 1965 Galaxie was an all-new design featuring virtually stacked dual headlights. The cars were taller and bulkier than the previous years. The new top-of-the-line designation was the Galaxie 500 LTD and the Galaxie 500 XL. The LTD and the XL trim package were accessory upgrades from the base Galaxie model. Engine choices were the same as 1964 except for an all-new 240 cubic inch 3.9 liter 6-cylinder engine, replacing the 50s era 223 mileage maker. 6 and the 352 was now equipped with dual exhaust and a 4-barrel carburetor. Mind you that these changes were made from 1965 through 1968. Suspension on the 1965 models were redesigned, replacing the former leaf spring rear suspension was a new 3-link system with coil springs. Interiors featured a new instrument panel as well as a 2-key vehicle access. The introduction of the 2 keys was for valet parking, where the rounded head key would only open the trunk or the locked glove compartment, while the square head key would only unlock the doors and the ignition. A new model was introduced for 1966, the Galaxie 500 7-liter, fitted with a new engine, the 345 horsepower 428 cubic inch 7-liter Thunderbird V8. This engine was available on the Ford Thunderbird and the Mercury S55. The police versions received the 360 horsepower version of the 428 known as the Police Interceptor. As police cars, the 1966 body style was introduced in Brazil, Ford do Brasil, as a 67 model. It had the same external dimensions throughout its lifetime until the Brazilian production ended in 1983. Safety regulations for the 1966 required seat belts front and rear on all cars sold domestically. The Galaxie 500 would be the number 3 selling convertible in the U.S. in 1966, with 27,454 sold. It was beaten by the Mustang at 72,119 and by the Impala at 38,000. A parking brake light on the dashboard and an AM/FM radio was optional. The 1966 LTD dropped the Galaxie name. The Galaxie range was one of Ford's most famous car series ever. Produced between 1959 and 1974, the Galaxie was the successor to the Ford Fairlane. The full-size Ford Classic, built in the United States, was cherished by the general public and celebrities alike. The car was, after all, released in the age where companies were marketing their vehicles to appeal to the public excitement surrounding the space race. One of the biggest rivals of the Galaxie, apart from the Chevy Impala of course, was the Dodge Polara, named after the star Polaris, which again was owed to the space race excitement in the general public. In 1959, the Galaxie model range was introduced in the latter part of 1958, with the Fairlane 500 released at the top trim level. However, in the next model year, the Galaxie was added as an additional trim level, surpassing or superseding the Fairlane 500. The Galaxie was offered as a sedan with a hard-top body, and the 1959 model carried both Fairlane and Galaxie badging. The body of the car boasted stainless steel and chrome finish with an optional two-tone paint. The second generation of the Galaxie models lasted from 60 to 1964, with a wheelbase of 119 inches. The new generation cars from the Galaxie series were a sight to behold. The new introduced Starliner was a fan favorite that featured exquisite curves on a pillar-less hardtop body shell. 3-star emblems on the sloping rear hood served as a signature badge for all Galaxie models between 1960 and 62. The 63 model was essentially the same, bearing some additional trim, while the 1964 model discontinued the formal box-top roof style and replaced it with the fastback roof design. And between 1965 and 1968, the third generation of Ford Galaxie was released with an entirely new design featuring virtually placed headlights on the new, taller, bulkier cars. An all-new engine variant was made available in the form of 240 cubic inches, 3.9-liter 6-cylinder engines. The 1965 models boasted newly redesigned suspension, a new 3-link system with coil springs had replaced the ancient leaf spring system. The revamped interiors featured a new instrument panel and a 2-way key vehicle access. The fourth and final generation of the Ford Galaxie was between 1969 and 74. The Galaxie series declined towards the dawn of the fourth generation, while the Ford Country Squire and the Ford Thunderbird caught and took off. Well, if you found yourself this far into the video, we'd certainly like to thank you for taking the time out to watch our video. And if you like our video, please give us a thumbs up. It really does help our channel. And if you like our channel, please subscribe, because we'll be doing all of the muscle cars, the supercars, the hybrid cars, the sports cars, the autoramas, the hot rods and custom cars. So there's a little bit of everything for everybody. We'd like to thank you again, and we look forward to you when we upload our next video. And always, always, always take good care.